What in the world is going on in the world? Holy mackerel. Things are going absolutely crazy, but let's break it down, shall we? This is in other news, and it's not news about let's see what you saw on Fox today, what you saw on CNN today, what you saw on MSNBC today, what you're going to see on Fox in the middle of the day, what you're going to see on CNN in the middle of the day, which you see on MSNBC in the middle of the day, so on and so forth. It's just the same old nonsense over and over and over again. It's just how it's done. But I appreciate you being here with me because there is a ton to break down, including, and I want to start with this because all of the news right now is about Harris, Trump. Biden's now open game for in other news. And I think that's okay. I think having Biden, the little thing we need to say about Biden, I don't know if this is encouraging or discouraging. I need your help. I need you to come along with me on this. I don't know. What's up, Lynn? I don't know where to go with this. So if I have a president that screams at his handlers in the Rose Garden while he's trying to introduce the Prime Minister of India, he said, "Who's next? Who am I choosing next?" And this voice comes up from overhead. "Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, please welcome the Prime Minister of India." And then we have more pictures of him sleeping on the beach this week. Just what he's doing. He's napping as it is. We don't have a president. Quite literally, we do not have a president. And if I'm not being mean, they've been abusing this man for well over a year now. I say 2 years. This is a classic case of elder abuse. He's their useful idiot. And they're continuing when the man can't even remember the world leader and ally that is standing next to him and how to introduce him. He starts yelling at his staff, and he spends half of his time on vacation. We quite literally, and that by the way, fact check me, I don't care. Fact check me. He has spent nearly half of his entire presidency on vacation. What's up, Rhonda? How you doing, Brendan? We don't have a president. So how is the country running? Is it good that we know now that Joe Biden has had nothing to do with running this nation? Because he is his cognitive ability is reaching zero rapidly. And is that more encouraging to you to know that Joe Biden ain't around? That now we have confirmation of it. I mean, we assumed that was the case. And I mean, for a large part at the end of Reagan's presidency too, the world knew Nance was running the joint. Here we have Jill Biden, Dr. Jill Biden running a cabinet meeting. Joe Biden mumbles through incoherently how his wife is there for the first time and basically running the show, and the world's okay with it. Like, I know our enemies are okay with it. Our allies have to be sweating bulls over this one. And then how about we the people? Is that knucklehead Dr. Jill Biden, which I believe was his nanny at some point? She's running the nation. So are we about this? Are we okay with this? Because at least he's not running the show, and we just now have confirmation that, as Rhonda said, the bureaucrats are running it. It's scary. Joe Biden is doing nothing as the president of the United States. We have October, November, December, and a good portion of January where he is technically the president of the United States of America. I don't know what their plan is. I have no idea what their plan is. But we are going to see less and less of him, if that's almost impossible. We're going to see less and less of him along the way because we cannot see the captain of this ship in that kind of a cognitive decline or just cognitive nothing. It's absolutely frightening. You guys are going off here. What do you guys got going on here? USA exactly needs the foreign money to sustain his light, depending on who is. Oh, yeah, here we go. You guys, I love you. It is elder abuse. I agree with that, Lynn. It totally is 100% elder abuse. And it's sad. Because you just think about the progression of all of this. Joe Biden was placed in the White House by the Democrat Party. They screwed over Secretary Mayor Pete. They screwed over Amy Klobuchar. They screwed over Filthy Bernie Sanders. At summer camp, I'll be at my summer camp. I'm not going to run for office anymore. I'm at summer camp. So he'll be at his summer camp. Everybody has summer camp, he says, the socialists. They screwed them all over. Bernie twice. And paid off Clyburn to get Biden to be the nominee. And then if anybody tells me that there wasn't widespread fraud in the last presidential election, I'll just go ahead and just give you a litany of evidence that it was shady as all get out. I'm telling you, Time Magazine, if you look back on this, in 2021, Time Magazine basically wrote an article of, what's up, Truman, how this all happened, how the Democrats ran the table on that election. Exactly how they did it. It's brilliant. It's not cheating. Here's the deal. Every single change that the swing states made, and I'm not even talking about ballots. I'm not talking about any of that kind of, I'm not talking about ballot harvesting. I'm not talking about stuffing ballots. I'm not talking about any of that noise. I'm not talking about Dominion voting machines. Here's what I'm talking about. Every change to the election process that the swing states made in the name of COVID-19 has been found unconstitutional by the Supreme Court of the United States of America, and some even in their own state Supreme Courts. But you can't put that toothpaste back in the tube. It's done. They slip one past the goalie. So they get their useful idiot, and their useful idiot is Joe Biden, because after 50 years of service, they said, Joe, you spend 4 to 8 years towing the line. You're going to go down as a president of the United States. Thank you for your service. Willing and able servant. Thank you so much for everything you do for 50 years. We're ending your career at the very tippity top, Girl Scout. The tippy top. And don't worry about Hunter's laptop. We're going to get that fixed. The media's on our side. Social media's on our side. We're all good. Then Joe Biden started to be Joe Biden. Joe Biden started to gaff more, gaff even more. They started protecting him and shadowing him. Shadowing him? What is that? Anyway, keeping him from the media. You remember those people at the last word that he says off of his little placard card? Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. And they're literally shoving people out of the Oval Office, reporters out of the Oval Office. And then his decline starts to become evident. And his policy decisions are ridiculous. Nothing that I would say that of the 81 million votes that the guy got, I would say that 40 million of them immediately started to regret their decision. Just like, what in the hell did we do? These policies are horrible. Inflation started running through the roof. Secretary Mayor Pete, as my dad would say, couldn't find his ass with both hands in a map. He had no idea what he was doing. Our inflation, our supply chain, everything was screwed. And then we start noticing more and more gaps. And then his decline more and more obvious. Shit, just absolutely, what, it was sheltered? What word am I looking for the love of grief? Anyway, hidden by the media, hidden by the cabinet, hidden by the vice president of the United States, hidden by his entire cabinet. This man can't complete a sentence off of a teleprompter. Even with a teleprompter, he's messing up. His decline is obvious. They hid it until the last vote was cast in the primary, and then they put Kamala Harris. They had him step down and place Kamala Harris in there, who hasn't received one vote still. Then what do you do in this? Essentially, we have a lame duck session of a president. We have a lame duck president because he is physically and mentally a lame duck. I would actually trust a lame duck running the country over Joe Biden right now. Let's talk like grown-ups. Again, I know this is another news. We're not talking about Biden. We're not talking about Harris. I mean, we're talking about Harris. We're not talking about Trump. We're talking about this man who is leading the free world right now from a place of, where's my applesauce? Did I miss ice cream time? That is the commander in chief. Put yourself now in military uniform. Some of you have family in military uniform. I want you to think about that. Think about the commander-in-chief is someone who craps himself in the Vatican. The commander-in-chief, the head of our U.S. Armed Forces. Our U.S. Armed Forces are run by somebody who can't finish a sentence can't remember that Prime Minister Modi is right next to him, and he doesn't know how to introduce him. People are wondering, our armed services, gee, why is recruiting so low right now? Well, A, they've been taught for over a decade, 2 decades now, that America isn't worth defending, that America's a flawed nation, we're racist, slavery, we need reparations, and now you put a commander-in-chief up there, which there's no way in hell I'm going to go put a uniform on when that guy just wants to start a war whenever the Democrat machine tells him it's beneficial to their donors. It's unbelievable. It's absolutely wild to me. I see all of this stuff. Right? And that's the thing. Jim said that. We thought that Jimmy was horrible. And he retired. Jim, it's a smart move. He retired under Clinton. Why? Yeah. Why would I want old Billy out there to starting damn wars? His wife, Benghazi? What the hell does it make? What difference does it make? We blamed it on a YouTube video. For the love of grief. It's challenging, guys. It's challenging to me. Okay. A commercial I want to show you guys is absolutely fantastic. There was a commercial that was posted today. I don't know who made it. If I see the credit, I'll credit it along there. But if I post it, I'll credit it. It's a commercial that is tied in with the assassination attempts, which we're going to get to in a moment. The assassination attempts. It's a commercial that's tied into the new movie, The Joker. It's coming up. This is brilliant. This is brilliantly done. And exactly why we have unhinged Fruit Loops out there that are trying to assassinate a presidential candidate and the former president of the United States, Donald John Trump. This sums it up perfectly. Enjoy.
Represent extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
Are they a threat to democracy? Yes. Are they going to take our rights away? Yes. Are they going to put people's lives in danger? Yes. Are they going to endanger the planet by not dealing with climate change? Yes.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
She's a genuine danger to American security.
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
We have to preserve our democracy, or speak out against lies and hate.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Have a consistent narrative about how dangerous Trump is.
President Biden has been clear-eyed about the threat that the former president represents to our democracy. Donald Trump is an existential threat to our democracy and our most fundamental freedoms.
Kamala needs to stop saying that President Trump is a threat to democracy. It's now being received by some unhinged people as a call to action. Enough is enough.
Okay, got to check out A-Muse. That's where it is. At A-Muse. A-M-U-S-E. A-Muse is a good follow. A fantastic follow if you're on X. Yeah. Yeah, I would rather take, if you got to decide between two dictators, Brendan, I'm going to take dictator Trump all day long. Does that explain a lot of things? I mean, forget about the fact that the last guy that tried to kill Donald Trump doesn't have enough money to pay child support, but he has enough to travel to Ukraine and do the Occupy Ukraine Kyiv thing, and he has enough money for 6 cell phones, and he will be okay. Yeah, all right. What did I see? Did I say that? I was sneezing. Excuse me. Yes. So anyway. And yes, Lynn, Carter will be 100 years old next month, and as crappy of a president as he is, really big into Habitat for Humanity, and he's a big turkey hunter. Don't get me wrong. Look, he was a craptastic president. I'd turkey hunt with him tomorrow. I would. That'd be cool as hell. I mean, he'd be in a wheel, and he's in hospice. We're gonna wheel him out there, whatever. They wheeled him out there last turkey season. They wheeled his butt out there. I'd love to be sitting next to him and doing it. Hell yeah. I don't know how that man aims. I have no idea. God bless him. Like my grandfather for it. Good God. My grandfather shook so bad before he died. My grandfather shook so bad. He built years and years before his death. He built my sister a grandfather clock. He built the thing. It's fantastic. It's awesome. We were moving my sister, and my grandfather wanted to help out. And my grandfather was taking basically the box that had the insides of the grandfather clock in. He shook so bad, God bless him. He shook so bad. He's walking around the boxes going ding 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 ding. Oh, he would be laughing right beside me right now. It's fine. And whatever. He's been gone for several years, so it's okay. He's watching that, Grandpa. But yeah. But I do see how this is all tied together. Like this constant barrage of 91 indictments and, he's a rapist now. By the way, E. Jean Carroll is a Fruit Loop, a fruitcake. There's no way in my mind you can convince me that Donald Trump sexually assaulted her. No way. She's got a dozen other lawsuits out against powerful, prominent men, said they did the same. And she's on Anderson Cooper, saying that rape is sexy. Thinking this crap. Nonsense. But you put all this stuff together and you've turned him into this ultimate villain that needs to be taken care of. And unstable people that might have been nudged by certain three-letter agencies. Hey, what's up? What do you think about getting you think about doing something for the greater good? Yeah. It just literally has to stop. And God bless Elon Musk for posting that today, and God bless A-Muse for getting it out there and making that. That's absolutely great. All right, let's see what we got here, Truman. All right. It says Pelosi said in an interview regarding their partnership wrap up and smear, create the narrative. Yeah, get the press, just keep pushing it. Yeah, for sure. That's a Hitler move. It really is. I'm not saying Nancy Pelosi's Hitler. I mean, comparing anyone to Hitler is one of the laziest damn things you're ever going to do. It's just lazy. Oh, they're quite literally Hitler. It just drives me nuts. I know they're listening, pal. It's okay. If I don't have, Jim said, careful, Mike, they're listening. Of course they're listening. We have to know that. What up, Jose? We have to know. They have to know. That's the whole thing was going on with this Diddy thing. That's why all the powers that be are being so quiet over all of this. The only thing that you're hearing about this Diddy thing is from us, from the internet sleuths that are going and digging up and putting the pieces together. Why E. Jean Carroll? That's what I said, buddy. E. Jean Carroll. Putting all the pieces together and actually finding out and linking these people. I saw Lady Gaga at one of these freak off parties. And I absolutely crazy what I'm seeing. But that's the only reason why you're going to hear more about it, because we don't let go now. So if the CIA, FBI, NSA, they want to listen in, go ahead, listen in. Yeah. And Ronnie, you're right. You're not cool if you're not on a watch list. You got to be on a watch list. I hope so. Hitler's a mouthpiece. Oh, you're throwing some Gables in there. My children's great-grandfather was the head guard at Nuremberg, the head U.S. military guard at Nuremberg. He got to know them. Like, they were just chatting up. What are you going to do? Just in a days, weeks of just sitting there by a cell? Chat it up. They can speak decent English. Chat it up. One of them, and I don't know if it's Gables or not, one of them gave him his swastika armband. The first time I saw that, I was like, I think my whole body had the chills. It was just, oof. It's just ugly. Just amazing. Anyways, that's it. But the whole thing, oh, you're Hitler. It's just dumb. It's lazy. It's lazy. We can stay, though, on some rhetoric here. This is one of my favorite things that I'm seeing, because now it's blank for Harris. So this isn't about Kamala. This is blank for Harris. These people are quite literally the best Donald Trump advertisement possible. I'm not kidding. This is the best they can possibly be. This is the head of white dudes for Harris. How cringy is that? White dudes for Harris. Here we go.
Yeah, for far too long, the left has essentially ceded white men to the MAGA right. And
or just men in general. This soy boy does not qualify.
A thing that we know is that most men, especially most white men, aren't actually MAGA supporters. And
how do you know that, sir? Sir, how do you, please just stop your crap. How in the world would you know that? We know that most white men aren't MAGA. I'm going to go ahead and maybe not MAGA as it's been defined by the media, but definitely conservative and definitely not voting for Harris. Let's put it that way.
And so we decided that we wanted to create space for white men to be a part of electing Vice President Harris.
You're safe here, soy boys. Come on in. The water's great. There is nothing that fires up the Trump base more than seeing that dude. They're seeing that guy, that dude, that white dude for Harris. There's nothing that fires up a real man than looking at that and going, no, that's not no. There's nothing manly about that. No, not at all. As a matter of fact, I'm here to protect my family and I'm here to protect my income. I ain't voting for Kamala Harris. I ain't a white dude for Harris. Oh, bunch of other pro-dictator. Yeah, this is just absolute nonsense. That there's, the vast majority of white men, white dudes in this country are voting for Kamala Harris. Come on, y'all. Let's talk like grown-ups, please. Can we? Oh, yes. Okay, so now I want to go back to this because I'm jumping around. Squirrel! It's y'all's fault. Y'all's fault putting all these great comments on here. Takes me out. Anyway, there is a, we're going to have to look it up here. This thing is just absolutely absurd. There is a piece of legislation that is being bandied about. You're going to make me put my spectacles on. It's being bandied about to amend the Constitution. And by the way, if you want to amend the Constitution, if you don't like the Second Amendment, if you don't like the Fourth Amendment, if you don't like whatever amendment you don't like, guess what? You can amend the Constitution. There is a written way to do that. So they're looking to amend the Constitution. I'm going to find this here, and that is not, but that is a fantastic, I'm telling you, that is a fantastic recipe for oven-baked potato chips. Anyway, here's the headline. The headline of Political: one pistol clip can change the balance of power. Congress is wholly unprepared for a mass casualty event. So what you're seeing, and by the way, it says over the past 15 years, members of Congress has survived 2 near-deadly shootings. Shut up. Knock it off. Stop with this crap about Jan 6 and all this. Oh, it was a deadly and the cops died at Jan. No, it was not. Anyway, what this goes into and what is being proposed now and what is making a lot of headlines is as if Congress is finally coming around to the possibility that this election can cause a mass casualty event. That what the three-letter institutions caused on January 6th might be a 3-letter institution caused mass casualty event again this January. So what they are doing, and before you get your panties in a twist here, I really would like you to please read what is being proposed before you freak out about it. Because this sounds like to us conservatives, we the people, that Congress is playing. Congress knows something's up, and they know something's up, so they need to prepare for this kind of thing. What's actually being proposed is bipartisan and intelligent. If something were to happen, let's say Congress was hit on 9/11 during session. Let's say Congress was hit. What happens then? The governors of each state have to do a runoff election, or some states actually select the replacement. Do you want Katie Hobbs replacing all of our Republican congressmen and women? No. So what they have done are they proposing? And of course, as it is on its surface, to me, totally okay, and I get it, and I'm down. But then you read if you read all of the legislation, I'm sure there's a bunch of crap in there that gives them more power than they could possibly do. But the power that I don't see a problem with is I'll use Congressman Schweikert as an example. Congressman Schweikert or Andy Biggs, they will get under this constitutional amendment the ability to pre-appoint their successor in the event that they are taken out in a emergency event. So if Congressman Schweikert or Andy Biggs or whoever was to say, Mike Russell is going to be my replacement the day I die in a mass casualty event or incapacitated or in the hospital and I'm down, Mike's got me. So what that does is ensure that the ideologies, attitude, and selection of that which we have voted for to represent us in Washington, D.C. goes unfaltered. It's boom, doom, same, basically same guy, same gal, same person, same ideology. Now, okay. Oh, I think Rhonda was talking when she says an awful idea is to appoint me as a replacement. I'd keep no. Okay, so then let me do Andy Biggs because that's more border security. No, Andy Biggs is an attorney. Schweikert is a math genius. Okay, I could replace somebody maybe. Who knows? Maybe Lauren Boebert in Colorado or something like that, you know? But as long as they get to, and that ensures that even the Democrat districts that elected a Democrat to represent them in Washington, D.C., that is our system of governance. That is our system of representation. And the Republicans get the same. I think there's zero wrong with that. If it is a one-page piece of legislation and constitutional amendment, I don't think they would have problems getting the 2/3 and 2/3 on both sides of the House and the Senate. And I don't think they would have a problem getting all the states, at least I think 40 of the states have to ratify it to be a constitutional amendment. That the congressmen and women have to appoint essentially their succession in a casualty event, mass casualty event. I don't have the legs to replace who, dude? What do you want the legs to replace who? I got nice legs. My legs are sexy. My legs, I got nice legs for an old man. Yeah. I think you'll fit in. Okay, to replace Lauren Boebert. Oh, what? Lauren Boebert is, I almost said the M word. Can I still say it? Can I say midget? I can't. Can I say that? I can't. Oh, okay. She's a little person. Really? That's better than midget? Little person? That seems more insulting. Little person. We're going little person? Okay. She's a little person in 14 states. I took a picture with her. She is intimidatingly small. Like, yeah, there's a lot of Hollywood people would be like, what's up, girl? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Deep dive into Harris's claim of being black. I did see that. I actually saw a little bit of that today, and I'm like, we know. How about this, Rhonda? But check this out. Did you see no one, my first name ain't Janet. My first name ain't Baby, it's Janet. Miss Jackson if you're nasty. Woo! Did you see Janet Jackson? Hell yeah. She's like, I thought Kamala Harris was white. And from a family that has a lot of issues with who's black and who's white, I'm going to go with Janet Jackson saying she ain't black. Publicly, a press release goes out. Janet Jackson misspoke. She's sorry for her insensitivities, yada, 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 yada. Then Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, comes out and says, I don't know that publicist. That wasn't me. I stick by what I said. Atta girl, Janet. Janet Jackson helped a lot of us Gen Xers through some formative years. I'll tell you that. Mm-hmm. Man, Rhythm Nation, let's go. Oh, all of it. Yeah. That and I was a Southern California kid, like you guys know. So before the NBA became basically just an arm of the Chinese propaganda and a fraud like the WWE, I actually was a Lakers fan. So that her and Paula Abdul, just saying. Rhonda, your husband loves her. We all love her. We all love Janet Jackson. She's okay. I'll shut up now before I get myself into a lot of trouble. No, I can never mind. Interns are here. It's okay. As long as the interns are here, I'm okay. I'm getting wrangled in. Anyway, where the hell were we talking about? Oh yeah, don't get your panties in a wad about this whole protect our government kind of thing. You know, everybody gets their succession and all of that. They should. They literally should. And it's not because lawmakers, this is part of political, lawmakers face and their staff face threats of political violence every day. So do I. Stop being a pansy. Capitol Police opened 8,000 cases to assess threats against lawmakers in 2023. It's a 100% increase from 2017. I wonder why. Go right back to the beginning of this program and that beautiful commercial by @Amuse, and you'll see why. You'll see exactly why. That's why this is happening. But you know something? I believe that is a solid idea that they would have, and I hate saying this, that they would have the ability to appoint their successor. I think that's smart. Yeah. Now, I don't know how that would be a terrible idea down the road. Again, if I elect Congressman Schweikert, I trust Congressman Schweikert to have his chief of staff, to have the right staff, to have the right speech writers, to have the right policy advisors. I trust him to do that. I should trust him to appoint his successor, whether it's his chief of staff or whoever it is, but it's this right-hand human. I think that makes sense. Dr. Demento show. Oh boy, we're going back into crates there, buddy. Yeah. Wow. All right, let's get to some scary stuff because, again, this is in other news. A big shout out, as I've mentioned, to RFK Jr., and I'll do this every single day for shining a big giant light on how unhealthy and gross we are as a society. It is so bad. And now I'm a fan of Jillian Michaels. I've been a fan of Jillian Michaels for a hot minute. I really have been. Again, Mike, you're a Republican. You don't like LGBTQ. My ass. She is awesome. She is every kind of cool. She punks California too. She moved from California to Texas. She goes, I don't want to live in California anymore. They're wacko. She's like, and I'm an LGBTQ woman. I should be like in their wheelhouse. I hate California. Here's Jillian Michaels. Enjoy.
Entirety almost of my generation, along with the 2 generations that followed, have fallen victim to America's unchecked obesity crisis and over 170 comorbidities that go along with it. I don't know about you, but I've watched my friends jabbing themselves every day with fertility drugs, praying for a pregnancy, my friends getting up at the crack of dawn to get radiated where the lump was found in their breast, my friends swallowing fistfuls of pills to manage their debilitating anxiety and depression. The decades between 1980 and now didn't beget a genetic quantum leap in which our DNA inexplicably mutated.
Oh, that is hot. I love that. Between 1980 and today, there hasn't been a quantum leap of genetic mutation in the human body. Oh, preach, girl. Come on, get it.
To make American bodies expand and fall ill at an unprecedented pace. And while Gen X, Millennials, and Gen Z have our problems, 75% of us are not stupid, weak, or lazy. So hopefully you are wondering, what has happened to us? And we're here to tell you. In the late 70s and the early 80s, a sinister series of events converged to change food and subsequently health in America indefinitely.
Sure did.
A plague that crept like a fog while we slept, literally and figuratively, blindly trusting.
Little Carter move that I like.
That the powers that be would never betray us. I mean, it seemed unthinkable to question whether a corporation would poison us for profit. I mean, the widespread assumption, at least when I was a kid, was that they were acting on our behalf.
Yes.
They wanted to make food, more affordable,
Here it comes.
more convenient. But it was this betrayal of trust
that
allowed them to insidiously infiltrate every part of our lives.
Yep.
Home-cooked meals became fast food value meals. Libraries and bookstores with no food or drink policies installed cafes selling 500-calorie coffee drinks and pastries. Eggs became heart disease cholesterol bombs, and Honey Nut Cheerios got labeled heart healthy.
I heart you. You make my heart healthy, dear. Oh, I love her. Holy cow. The dam is breaking, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Because that is so damn true. Just like I told you, I was looking for that Politico article and I hit on a tab on my screen here that was for home baked potato chips. Like, I'm trying. I'm so sick and tired of looking at labels. It's unbelievable. in great shape among the letter people. That's right. Oh, yeah. Can't be classically. What? What are you talking about? Yeah, you can. Wait a second. Can't be classically attractive and in great shape among the letter people. Listen. She's beautiful. I think she is. I really do. And I mean that in a classic way. I mean, she's attractive. I don't think she's like, ooh, she's so hot. She's obviously in great damn shape. And what she just said was such just a light to hear and so informative and so just not informative. It is informative, but it's almost just eye-opening, right? It's smack in the face. Y'all can see this. It's happening right before your eyes, and it's because corporations wanted to make more money, and the pharmaceutical industrial complex that we have wanted everyone to not be healthy, so it all went hand in hand. Oh, she did flee California. Darn right she did. She's like, this place is crazy. She's like, and I'm one of the people you say you're pro, and you are not pro me. You're weird. I was with you on that, Terry. Hold on a second. Hey, I've heard anything from, let's see. You know something? Wait a second. I think I just saw that this morning. Anything from Casey and Kaylee Means. That's right. Great book. Good Energy. All about how food in America is. Oh, yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah. Terry, it's making us suck, too. I'll tell you that much. Suck and sick. Oh my God. Yes. And I remember it was so funny that I thank you for that, Terry, because when I was doing my research for the show this morning, again, believe it or not, I prepare. I was doing my research for the show. I said, remember that name. And I don't think I had anything from her. Let me see if I actually pulled something up from her. I might have. Let me see. And I might be able to share that with us. I'm going to share that with the class. No, I did not. But I also have to find something that I tried to was Gretchen Whitmer in the most cringy political ad I've seen in the history of cringy political ads. So I'll find that for you for tomorrow as well. All right. But yeah, I do remember that name. I do remember. But let's stay along these lines. So there was a migrant woman that came to the United States legally. God bless you. And became a nurse. So she became a nurse, and God bless you. I love it. I love any immigrant that comes here legally and starts participating, makes their world great, becomes an American, just a contributing American. Oh, I love you so much. I already love you. Don't even know you. Already love you. Proud of you. Because my ancestors did it. My great-grandmother and her husband, Grandma and Grandpa Heddick. Hell yeah. Came from Germany. They were the Von Heddicks. They had to kick that Von out the door. Germany, not so popular at that time, but started their own business in Apple Valley, California, and Heddick Hardware. Started a hardware store. Built a church, whole nine. I love it. I'm a fan of this. So this woman, she came in, and apparently she didn't get the memo in nursing school where they tell everybody, there's a big, big secret in our medical industry, and you keep your mouth shut. Okay? Here it is.
Sandra Rosado is a bilingual physician who has dreamed of this job.
I apologize. Doctor. That's right.
Since she was little. But through her 20-year career, that piped-up dream faded quickly.
I am convinced that the healthcare is completely not considering the patient at all.
Nope.
It's just it's a business.
Yep.
Period. And that is the sad part. How nice she said.
She says one former employer pressured her to do unnecessary screenings and gave bonuses for meeting quotas.
They were pressuring me to prescribe certain medication because it makes more attractive to some patients if you some practice if you prescribe certain medicines.
Right, and she's right in that. By the way, that's the doctor shopping, and we've talked about that several times over the last few years, is the whole physician shopping. It's like, I'm going to go to that doctor because that doctor prescribes X. I remember one time it was right before a deer hunt. I was flying to the Midwest for a deer hunt, and I started that whole like, ooh, nose, ear, kind of getting infected. I'm like, oof. And I have chronic ear infections. But I was like, okay, this is a bad one coming on. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to go to the walk-in clinic. I'm going to pay my $100 and I'm going to see if they can give me some antibiotics or something like that, right? So I go in twice. This is over probably 3 years. 3 or 4 years. I've gone in twice to this place. And they said, okay, we'll get you a Z-Pack and we'll get this knocked out for you. And they looked at my ear. They goes, that looks really painful. I'm going to go ahead and prescribe some Vicodin for you as well. I thought it was a one-off. Swear to you, 3 years later, go to the same spot because it was right up the road, the same spot, and they're like, "Hey, I'm going to give you some Vicodin for that as well." Son of a! This woman is correct. It's exactly what's happening.
Is that because those medicines cost more and so they get more money?
It's because it's medicine that could cause an addiction in a person.
Oh, so even worse.
Yes.
Good. Any interesting travel?
It's why she left, and she's not the only one.
Do you think the current healthcare system is broken?
It's definitely broken, yes. I mean, in most every facet.
Dr. McCarthy's like, as a matter of fact, I prescribed 8 doses of Vicodin today, just 8 patients. Yeah.
Chris McCarthy and Dr. Jerome II co-founded Palmetto Proactive Primary Care in Spartanburg.
The face-to-face time for primary care doctors, 7 to 8 minutes.
7 to 8 minutes.
7 to 8 minutes.
It's like no time.
Right, you're scheduled every 15 minutes.
Dr. Shane Purcell says the middlemen in the system often contribute to higher costs.
And then you get that bill a few weeks later, you're like, wow, how is this possible that I got 2 minutes with a doctor and it's $300.
Right.
Or my insurance didn't pay for it. It's a lot of insurance issues.
It's why these doctors are taking the healthcare system into their own hands.
Good for you. Now stop being a bozo with the building and go to Amazon Prime like you should. Okay. And this is not a commercial for it, but I have the Amazon, not insurance. But I can say I could literally, and maybe I'll try this in real time tomorrow. I don't know. I'll see if I can work it out. So I don't think they'll allow it because of HIPAA laws or something like that. But I can go onto my Amazon account, my Prime Medical. I can go into my Amazon account. I can see a doctor now. Spend a half hour with him or her. They're probably they're medical practitioners. I mean, doctor practitioners or nurses. But you get to decide which one you want. You want a doctor, or do you want a practitioner? Do you want a nurse? What do you want? And you say it's telehealth, literally, and I can pick one in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, boom, boom, boom. It's right there, just like that. Pop. That's what medicine should be right now. If I'm bleeding out somewhere, okay, I'm going to go to a facility. But for the love of grief, for an extra $100, I get any medication I want sent to my door. I can go see any doctor I want, and life is good. They have all my medical records. They have everything I need done. Amazon is going to be by and large. Remember the movie WALL-E? By and large, it's going to be Amazon. Amazon's going to own everything. God bless them, too. They're doing a great job. Doing a fantastic job. And doctors don't treat the problem. That's right. And, I mean, the medical industry has become Band-Aids. Just all it has been. And I applaud that doctor for actually speaking up and saying, basically saying what's what. Because it's impressive. I applaud Jillian Michaels for doing what she's doing. That by the way, it's a 9-minute clip there. So, I mean, I just wanted to play where she talked about we're told that Honey Nut Cheerios were for heart health. What kind of crap is that? What kind of nonsense is that? But you do buy into it, though. It's hard not to. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about back in the day before I really started, let's put it this way, before I got old and started thinking about my health. And I was like, damn, we actually thought that Honey Nut Cheerios was healthy and then an egg was a cancer bomb or cholesterol bomb. I'm about to eat 4 eggs in 15 minutes. I'm eating 4 eggs all the damn time. Yeah. Makes you good. Oh, that's a great point. Great point, Chris. Usually a doctor just makes you good enough until your next visit. Yeah, just keep on coming on. Yeah. And let's see here. All right, so Casey Means book, A Good Energy. Okay, let's go here. Terry, what you got? Casey Means book. And I'm going to try to find that clip because I swear I remembered that name this morning. How the food industry is keeping us sick and keeping everyone on medication. Yes. Interesting how the conversation is all about this book. Okay, I'm in. You got me. It has to be on audio. I have 3 books sitting over there that I haven't even opened yet. I'm just like, oh, everybody's like, you got to read this book. If it's not on audio, I'm not going to read. I'm not going to read it. Yeah. Yes. And by the way, again, I'm going to say it's like I said yesterday. Whatever the government tells you to do right now, just do the opposite for now. for now, guys, just don't stop all this garbage. Salt is bad for you, quite literally made of salt water. I start every morning with water and a salt pill, a hydrate electrolyte pill, every morning, right before my coffee. Yep. Tell you, you change your whole world. All right, we don't have too much time, so what do we want to get into here? Let's see. Do we want to get into a border security bill exposed? Do we want to get into George Soros buying 200 radio stations? Or do we want to get into the new Trump derangement syndrome? It's called Elon Musk derangement syndrome. What do you guys think? First one gets it. First one to comment gets it. We're going to go with that, and then we'll have our decompression session, which is hilarious, as it normally is. And it's not even by a comedian. It's by we the people. That's what it is. By we the people. All right. Anyone want to speak up? You got your choice. Border security, George Soros. All right, let's go. Oh, is that Rhonda? You said George Soros is you. All right, here we go. He bought KFYI. You might as well. They say the same stuff every single day. Okay, here we go. George Soros, a George Soros-backed organization, is now applied to the FCC to purchase 220 radio stations. And the 220 radio stations reach 165 million Americans a day. That's absurd. Here's the deal. It isn't going through the normal channels of purchasing a radio station. The FCC is fast-tracking it to allow it to go through before the election. Nothing to see here. Here is Commish himself. Here you go.
Indicated there's a transaction where a Soros-backed group would take ownership of over 200 radio stations across 40 different markets after the FCC originally indicating that transaction could be reviewed and approved at the Bureau level without a commission vote. It's now become clear that that is a decision before the full commission, and it's one that I would assume now or in the near future the commission would approve. I think what's interesting about it is that the FCC here is not following its normal process of doing a transaction. We have established over a number of years one way in which you can get approval from the FCC when you have in excess of 25% foreign ownership, which this transaction does. And it seems to me that the FCC is poised to create, for the first time, an entirely new shortcut.
Yeah, thank you. As you pointed out here and previously, these proceedings for transfer of ownership have been expedited. What exactly makes this case so deserving of an expedited proceeding so far, from what you could tell?
There is nothing about this transaction that is out of the ordinary. It's the type of thing that we see all the time, and the FCC has a process for this. The full commission itself has never signed off on a shortcut like this. What we usually do is we require people to file a petition with us. We bring in national security agencies. They can review the foreign ownership. It's probably no big deal here, but we review that foreign ownership, and then we vote. Here, they're trying to do something that's never been done before at the commission level.
Never been done before at the commission level. Again, I believe in coincidences. I've just never seen one. Do you understand the reach? Do you understand if this were to go through and George Soros were able to buy 220 radio stations in our nation, and one of them could be KFY, I have no idea. It was funny. I'll get back to it in a second, but during COVID, right before then, with like George Floyd and all that, right before then, iHeart was thinking about getting rid of all of their talk products. They're like, no, we cannot have conservative talk radio because they don't buy into the narrative. They aren't controlled easily. Well, some of them aren't controlled easily. And yeah, we can't have that conservative thought. We just can't have that. Then COVID hit. Conservative talk radio quite literally saved the organization. Kept the lights on, kept the doors open. They saved it. That's how powerful that is. George Soros, you give him that kind of power right before an election to make sure that he has it at least a month before the election and he can just flood the entire nation with that propaganda nonsense. Now you know something's up. That's election meddling, election interference to the nth degree. More so, or even as egregious as using taxpayer money and military equipment to fly a little dictator to our country, to a swing state, to campaign for Kamala Harris and rip on Donald Trump. Little dictator tot was here as foreign interference in an election, period. Not seen that way because we're on the wrong side of the media, right? We're on the wrong side of the media. The power that the media still holds, even when you look at streamers like me, streamers, any streamer like me, that will come and talk to you like an adult, talk to you like a grown-up, and have more reach and more following than the majority of talk shows or radio stations. We got a chance to combat this, because I believe wholeheartedly this is going through. I hope somebody challenges it somewhere along the way. But if it's not, and it's left unchecked, and the FCC completely ignores its processes to secure what is federally regulated airwaves, nothing but election interference and nothing but shadiness and nothing but just disgust. Speaking of, thank you, Truman. Yes, a little dictator time. I believe always in we the people. You know that. Y'all know that. That's why I know that you all like to have these kinds of conversations about just, what matters to us. I don't know, Rhonda, I don't think it can be considered a monopoly, because I know how many radio stations iHeart owns. I know how many radio stations Hubbard owns, how many CBS owns. You can't have, I forget, I think you can't have more than 9 radio stations in one market or something. It's something like that. Those are just the rules for that. Anyway, I believe in we the people. I love the signs. Seal Beach, California, by the way. I just saw a video of a guy coming out of a store in Seal Beach, California. It's all maggot out. Seriously, just has amazing, like, socialists for Harris and all these signs, these wonderful signs. In Seal Beach, California, by the way. I used to work in Seal Beach, California at the Shore Shop. The former Shore Shop. Now it's, I think, 8 multi-million-dollar homes where it used to sit anyway. Seal Beach, California used to be my hood. So big shout out to them. But if you start screwing around and mucking up the landscape with a socialist Democrat billboard, guess what's going to happen? Guess what's going to happen? We, the people, are going to step in and make sure that that's on. This is one of the most beautiful things you're going to see in today's decompression session.
They put a fucking vote Democrat sign right above the damn shop. And that one right there is still available.
Uh-oh! I think y'all know where this is going, don't you? I think you guys know where this is going. So they put right above this man's shop, they put a vote Democrat sign. Vote Democrat. Ready for this? This man is a genius. The owner of the shop, right under this vote Democrat sign, did this.
Should we do something?
1 minute later.
Yes. Just kidding. Vote Republican, MAGA. Paid for by exactly the shop below that. I absolutely love that. Vote Democrat. No, just kidding. Yes. Yeah, CapCut commercial there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, do not ever underestimate. Do not, right, Truman, for the win. Do not underestimate we the people. We will jack you up. Don't mess with Patriots. And Rhonda, you've been to the Seal Beach? Oh, the great shop. I don't know if you've been to the Shore Shop, though. The Shore Shop was a hot minute ago. I think the owner turned that thing into a row of houses, I want to say in 2000, somewhere around there. Yeah, but the Shore Shop. If you've been to the Shore Shop, then we pals, because I was there. I was the manager of the shoe department. That's right. Go ahead with your Al Bundy jokes. Go ahead. It's okay. Al Bundy was a legend. Go with the Al Bundyisms. You can't even have an Al Bundy today. You cannot have an Al Bundy character in a sitcom today. You cannot. No way in hell. Archie Bunker, can't have any of that. Not allowed. Nope. The good old days. Songs about the good old days. I can do Edith Bunker, but only for then I screw my vocal cords up. Anyway, thanks for playing along. Thanks for having some fun. Thanks for doing this. Share it out. Do all that stuff. Exactly what you're supposed to do. Like it, stamp it, share it, do what, I don't know. Keep commenting. Y'all keep playing amongst yourselves. I'm going to go have some lunch. By God, going to go do it. Thank you so much for hanging out, and we will see you tomorrow at noon right here on In Other News.